Hey G's, welcome. So tonight's episode is dating versus courting. Tonight we'll talk all about dating, and in a few weeks the courting episode will drop. So tonight we're going to start by defining dating,
defining courting,
assess your readiness to date,
your dating expectations,
give you some sample dating questions,
also dating ideas,
and then we'll close out with the exclusivity conversation.
Thank you for tuning in for this show. On this journey called life, you will definitely encounter the unexpected.
Sometimes you'll laugh, sometimes you'll cry, but in the end, if you have someone that will take your hand and walk through it with you, it makes everything better.
You get to make all kinds of discoveries along the way. Some about yourself, some about others. We made some and we just want to share it with you.
So we invite you to just listen, ask questions, make your own discoveries.
Pour your coffee, tea, or whatever you prefer. Settle in and let's talk about dating, courting, marriage, and life.
Oji and Gigi, life radically redefined. So, what is courting?
Well, I'll tell you what courting is. The definition that we found and using for courting is that you taking your relationship to the next level and you have done the preliminary vetting and you are investing in that person to see marriage as an eventuality.
Perfect. Like on his YouTube channel, Alan Parr, on the beat, shout out to Alan Parr, he makes a point of saying that courtship leaves you better and not bitter. And I really like that because he explains how through the courtship process, you're really cherishing the person's heart and you're ensuring not to damage them. So although like you're moving towards marriage and it's the anticipated next step, sometimes that doesn't work out. But in the process, you're not hurting the other person.
Exactly. And also I want to add in courting is that there is a need to communicate. So that when we talk about the expectations in dating, there's also expectations in courting. And of course, fellas, take the lead. Take the lead. You're not the one to sit back and just find out that, oh, you guys are dating now, you guys are courting now, or you guys are going on this particular place for a date. So take the lead. All right. And that's for my fellas. Also, another expectation when it comes to courting is, which we're going to cover in 2 weeks from now, is going to be protection. And also, I want to add that communication is needed. That's part of the expectation. And guys, you must take the lead. You're the man. It's a must. You can't sit back and just wait for the woman to tell you, oh, now we're dating. Now we're courting. No. Now we're going on dates. This is where we're going to... No, you're the man. Take the lead. And as the man, you need to protect her physically and emotionally. For example, from harassment. And how you protect her from... For instance, your tone will protect her emotionally. And that's when...
And the words you choose.
Yeah, and the words you choose. Mm-hmm. All right? And also, self-control carries a lot of weight. So, other than just, when you first dating, put your hands underneath, just hold that. Let her just brush against you. You'll feel it. You'll know exactly when is the right time. But you don't want to, cloud yourself. We'll get into that. Mm-hmm. And make the relationship a priority.
All right, so one of the questions that everyone has to ask themselves when they start dating, right, is, am I ready to date? Because it sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Right? That you're ready. You're going to go out and date. But are you ready? So you have to ask yourself some questions. Like, am I available? Am I free and available emotionally? Not just physically. Am I free and available emotionally to go out on dates, meet new people, and be my most authentic self?
Which leads to the second question is, have I recovered from the past loss? Now, your definition of lost could be from the past relationship which you have poured yourself and then it ended on a bitter note. You know what I mean?
I do. Because we talked about that in baggage, right?
Yes.
You carry that stuff into new relationships, and you sink the relationship before it even has a chance to blossom. You have to ask yourself, am I open to the possibilities? Like, am I willing to date someone who is not like anyone I've dated before? I know a lot of women like guys who have a lot of swagger, or they'll say, like, even the conversation about Russell, the football player, Sierra's husband.
Yes.
I hear people call him a simp all the time. And every time I see that, I'm like, what do you mean? This guy is loving and open, but he's different than other people that she dated. He's different than her prior relationship. So look at your prior relationship and say, am I open to, like, I'm usually dating the guy that has all the swag and he's everything. Am I open to dating like an engineer that maybe has the glasses and, you know, is just a little bit different?
Also, one of the questions, am I optimistic? Do I see life with
rose-colored glasses?
Rose-colored glasses. Now, am I fooling myself by doing that, or do I really anticipate the best out of people?
Absolutely, right? Because you don't want to go into a situation thinking, oh, he's just like the rest of them, or she's just like the rest of them.
Exactly.
Now, this is like a two-parter. Do I feel good enough about life, and do I feel good enough about myself to jump back into the dating pool?
That's
right?
true.
So, and that goes along with the optimism question. How you view life, how you view other people, how you view yourself, those things are so important to how you present yourself in a dating relationship. You don't want to come off as like an interrogator who's right, looking to catch someone off guard or catch them in a lie or something, or everything's a red flag, because not everything's a red flag.
And
are you ready? Are you feeling good enough about yourself and about other people?
Basically, to jump in the pool of dating.
Right.
You know, and that's, I think, it helps with, one of the things that it'll help with is the mentoring. What we have on
the dating cards?
The dating cards. And where
Right.
can we find that? On OGandGigi.com.
Shameless plug. He does that all the time. Right. Okay. So let's talk about expectations in dating.
Expectations in dating. Definitely.
If you are meeting someone for the first time and all of your communication has been online, you have to make sure that your online presence really resembles who you are in real life. Because like, I've heard stories of people posting pictures from 10 or 15 years before, or there's so many filters that they can't tell, like, the person doesn't look the same in real life. So just be sensitive to that. Of course you want to post the best picture possible, but you want to look like you.
Exactly. And I know that, for instance, I posted a picture of Gigi a few weeks ago, and
It was a year ago.
she felt that she didn't look the same. However, I took a poll, and everybody thought that she did look the same. So you're always perfect and beautiful to me.
I love you.
Oh,
Right.
right. Be courteous and be ready to arrive on time or be there on time. Okay? Because you don't want to be like the typical, should I say typical? I don't know. But, you know, when...
Typical for us. Late.
Yeah. Even go back to like prom days when the guy shows up with a boutonniere and in the corsage, and he's waiting downstairs for a half hour to an hour because she's getting her hair perfectly coiffed and done.
Coiffed. God, that's a word. But no, you're right. Like, if someone's coming to pick you up for your date, be ready on time. And if you're meeting at like a prearranged location,
Yes.
be there on time. And on time really means a few minutes early.
Yes. Military, basically, they always say, if you're on time, you're late. So be early to be on time.
All right. So how about the cell phone, right? Because we're like in a cell phone society.
Yeah, we are attached with our cell phones. And
someone
told us the lie that we can't survive with our cell phones. I mean, it's pretty close because I have almost my life on my cell phone. However, we can survive going out on a date
without our cell phones.
Without our cell phone. I'm not saying leave it at home, but like put it down without touching.
There's nothing worse than seeing a couple out on a date and they're both so into their phones that they're not paying attention to each other.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lost opportunity. It's a missed opportunity to get to know each other.
So that part is basically just be engaged. You know.
Yeah.
Know what this person is saying, or even if they're asking you a question, or even something where you have some kind of familiar knowledge of, and
Right.
you can like.
Because that's the
interact.
only time that interaction is really how you find commonality.
Yeah.
Right? No negative talk about prior dates or your exes. Like, that is completely off limits, because it's just off limits. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't say negative things about other people. What you got next?
Okay, yes, I have next. Is don't come across arrogant, title dropping, name dropping about your earnings and accomplishments. Now, I'm not talking about facts. I'm talking about. I mean, there's
Like, there's
a
when
difference.
people are just giving you information, like, oh, I went to Princeton, da da da. Or
well, I've had lunch with Megan and Harry.
Megan, and the palace is lovely.
Yeah.
Come on, stop it.
All
right, so
be real, authentic.
Be authentic. How about pay attention to what your date is saying?
Yes, which helps by putting the phone down.
Okay, so let's say you're on a date and your date says, hey, listen, had a really great time. I don't think we have chemistry, and I'm kind of ready to wrap this up. Do not get upset about that, because although like your feelings might be hurt, even hearing this, you're probably triggered, because any of us would feel like, wow, I'm out here on a date. This person wants to end it early. They want to like be done with it. Then at least you know that wasn't your person.
Exactly. Before you invested your heart in it, you rather know now.
Yeah.
Believe me, you rather know now than later.
Do not introduce your children to your date too soon.
That pertains to dating couples that have children.
Right.
Not together, of course.
Right. But don't introduce kids to the situation. There's nothing wrong with telling someone that you're dating. You should tell someone that you're dating that you have kids, so that they can determine if you're a prospect for them. Don't be upset if someone doesn't want to date someone that has children. Everyone has preferences, and they know what they can and cannot handle.
Yeah, that's all part of the vetting.
Right. But introducing your children too early or bringing them on dates, not a good idea, especially early on.
So for my fellas, is it all right that you take a woman out on a date and she orders extra meals to take home to her children? Now, I just want you guys to comment.
And ladies, is it expected that if you're out on a date and you have children at home, that the male should be okay with purchasing these to-go meals to feed the kids back at home?
And is it okay for them to deny that they will be paying for those meals?
So comment, we want to hear your feedback.
Okay?
All right?
All right.
Okay. So, what kind of questions do you ask when you go on a date?
Well, I would say we have some sample questions on our Oji Gigi website.
Our date or dare cards?
Yes.
Yeah. So our date or dare cards are on our website. They're both digital and physical. The physical ones you can pre-order. The digital ones, you pay for them, you download them, and you have them right there with you, ready to be asked. So, one of the questions that I always find most interesting because of the answers is when you ask someone for what are you most grateful?
Oh, wow. Well, I wouldn't say that was a first date question. That's while you're dating and vetting. Mm-hmm. And that is a pretty powerful question. And we have a few more right after these commercial breaks. Thanks for tuning in to Oji and Gigi. Be sure to visit our website, ojiandgigi.com, and place your order for our Date or Dare cards.
You want a long-term relationship, but is that true for the person you're dating?
Ask those deep questions and dig way beneath the surface to uncover who you're sitting across from.
And we wouldn't be us if there wasn't an element of fun in this deck.
So, date or dare.
Comment, like, and subscribe to remain connected. Hey, G's!
Thanks for tuning in into Oji and Gigi. Be sure to visit our website, ojandgigi.com, and create your account to access your free vetting checklist.
If you are in a relationship currently, the checklist may affirm that your relationship is on the right track.
That's right. And it may also spark some conversation to get you where you want to be.
So comment, like, and subscribe to remain connected. So welcome back, guys. Before break, we were going over some dating questions. I want to remind you to go to ojandgigi.com, get your date or dare cards, and download your readiness assessment.
Yes.
All right, because you want to see if you're ready to date.
All right.
Right.
So I already went through the first question. The second question, what do you consider cheating?
Yeah, right. I've heard people say that cheating is like, even if you look at someone in like a ogly kind of way, that's cheating. If you kissing is cheating, having a phone conversation. So you have to define that.
Yeah, you have to define it
for each other, like in your relationship. Okay.
Another question that is mentioned is, what is your favorite fitness activity?
And that's a really good question that you can ask in the first few dates. Like, what do you do for fitness? What do you do? Like, what do you like to do? Do you like to climb mountains? Do you rock climb? Are you sedentary?
Do you swim, jog, run?
All of that. All of that. So you get an idea for what the person likes to do in their downtime. And then, that's one of my favorite questions.
How do you alleviate stress? Now, if their first answer is sex, red flag.
Flag on the play. Also, if they say something like, well, I like to beat puppies with baseball bats.
Check, please.
Yeah, time to get out of there. But if they're, you just want to assess what someone does in their free time and how. We all deal with stress and we all deal with it differently. So you want to see, hey, how do you deal with stress? All right. So what do we have next, OG?
Date ideas. Because, we've talked about dating and
we've told people not to sit in a dark movie theater for a couple hours.
Dating and watching a movie, you're not really interacting. You're not really, I guess,
getting to know each other.
Getting to know each other and vetting at that time. All right. So, give me a date idea that you'll find on ojandgigi.com.
All right. So, shameless plugs. All right. So, one of the things I think everyone should remember is a date does not have to be at dinner time.
It does not have to be at dinner time.
You can go for coffee, you can go for brunch, you can go for breakfast, you can go whenever you want, right? And you can do whatever you want. So one of the things that I like is mini golf.
Yes.
Right? Because
that was one of our first few.
Our first few dates, yeah. We played mini golf and basketball, which I won. All right. What else?
Going to a museum. We talked about the possibilities, right? Of just what you haven't done before and
it's really like you're creating memories, but you're also getting to know each other.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Right? Maybe neither of you like museums, but it's something to do. It's something to see. It's an experience to have. Exactly. How about I like the wine or craft beer tastings.
Yes.
And not for the first several dates because you don't want to
beyond the fourth date maybe or you don't even have to give it a number. It really varies
when you're comfortable enough with the person to be drinking
and sharing.
Right.
All right. I like this one. Going to the zoo.
Right, because we're here in Palm Beach County, and the zoo here is pretty awesome. You can go to the zoo, you can go to Lion Country Safari, which is pretty awesome. Or you can get on Tri-Rail and go down to Miami and figure out the People Mover and go to Zoo Miami.
Yes.
Right? It's just a nice thing to do for a day. You're walking around, you're talking, you're getting to know one another, and you're seeing something, you're doing something different.
Exactly.
What else you got?
Do an escape room.
Oh, the escape rooms. All right, so those are great because you're able to work at something together You're able to see how competitive someone is. And it's really just a really cool joint activity. How about an art gallery?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done that.
Yeah, it's kind of along the same lines as a museum. You're
Yes.
walking, you're seeing stuff. You can ask for their interpretation of a piece of art, etc. And one of our favorites, the shooting range.
Haha, yes.
Go to the range. If you go to an outdoor, we're here in South Florida, so not sure where you are, what the gun laws and the shooting situations are, but here in South Florida, we have a plethora of outdoor gun range and indoor gun range choices. But outdoor, depending on where you go, you can shoot different types of guns, including large caliber. So one time we went and he got to shoot a 50 caliber and also skeet shooting.
Yes, she surprised me with it. It was awesome.
Right. So, and then if you just want something chill and laid back, there is a
paint and sip.
So you have a little bit of wine and you paint together and you talk and you laugh. But notice everything that we've mentioned is really interactive.
Yes, it is. It is.
Right, so you want to experience each other in different settings.
Exactly. So next, the exclusivity conversation. So what is exclusivity?
Well, a lot of people don't know what exclusivity is, right? A lot of us, exclusivity is when you and I are together, and that's it. We're having a monogamous relationship, and we both understand that it's monogamous and that it's just us, and we're getting to know each other.
Exactly.
Right? So we're not dating other people to cloud our judgment, etc. We're just getting to know one another.
Yes, and that's where the clarification and that kind of communication needs
to happen. Right? How long should you date someone before you have the exclusivity?
Well, there's the thing. I think that will definitely vary, especially if you're dating and you're relying on the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so for us, if you have a church community or a community of friends or your family,
well, they would definitely want to be involved because they want the best for you and they're going to be honest, and that's what you want.
Mm-hmm. But exclusivity is something that you can never assume. There's nothing worse than a couple that doesn't communicate and one person thinks there's an exclusive relationship
and the other one thinks it's just dating
a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
So it's very important. The key is communication. You need to know where you stand. You want to know, I think it's T. Harv Eker, I'm not sure, but he says you want to begin with the end in mind, right? So if you know you want exclusivity, the things that you're building are moving towards that. And you have to initiate those conversations. Like you said, we men should take charge. However, if as a woman, you're not feeling the relationship or you want to have a specific conversation,
you want to be honest.
Have the conversation.
You want to be honest.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah. So how do you know the relationship is exclusive?
Because you have a conversation. Right?
Yes.
No assumptions.
No assumptions.
No talking in circles when you're asked, are we dating exclusively? And it doesn't even have to be a question. You know what it is? We need to have a conversation about dating exclusively.
Because that is the next step.
And like you said, we need men to take the lead, but women, if you want exclusivity, you need to open your mouth and talk about it. Don't be afraid to ask a question or make a statement, especially if it's what you want, if it's what your heart desires, and if it's if you're living your authentic truth and you want exclusivity, say it.
So men, if you are vetting and you want someone to be honest, well, why not have that kind of conversation, that clarity to make sure that this is the person for you. Mm-hmm. If you feel that you're not ready, well,
then step back.
You have to be honest because you want the person to be honest to you, with you, that you are going to make life with on these journeys. If you don't feel that person, there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm sorry.
I'm not feeling being exclusive right now.
I'm not seeing this right now for me. And let At that time, you've been honest, let her decide.
Right. If she wants to continue dating, you have done your part and you've been honest. And ladies, if he says to you, I'm not feeling exclusivity right now, I just kind of want us to keep dating other people. If that's not what you want, say it. Say the thing.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That just means that you're honoring yourself, and there's nothing wrong with honoring yourself. All right, so we've covered a lot today. There was a lot to take in, right? So we've defined dating.
We've defined courting.
We've talked about assessing your readiness to date and how you present yourself.
We also talked about dating expectations.
Sample dating questions. We've told you go out to ojiandgigi.com to get your date or dare cards.
And also there you'll find dating ideas.
Right. And we had the discussion about exclusivity. So this was a lot. And in part 2, we're going to do a deep dive into courtship. And a lot of people don't realize that those are dating and courtship are separate. So we're going to talk more about courtship, or all about courtship, on the next episode.
So again, thank you. Please follow, share, and comment.
Remember that relationships take work. They're not easy. They don't just fly by, right? The biggest piece of all of this is taking care of yourself and ensuring that you're asking questions, that you're paying attention to your intuition, and that you are honoring yourself through this process and through life in general.
So we want to interact with you and answer your questions. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share.
And check out our website at www.ogngg.com to pre-order products, download free worksheets and ebooks. We add products and downloads all the time, so keep checking back. So from our family to yours,
Happy holidays. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing.
And live a life radically redefined.